Okay guys, so this video is about showcasing a really cool feature in macOS that you can use to basically install OpenClaw in a much safer way, and we are gonna walk through it. So the problem with OpenClaw installation on your primary setup is that if you give it a lot of permissions, which you would want to do it, then it would be able to access a lot of your personal data as well, and like many your work related stuff as well if it resides on your computer. So you wouldn't want to do that, so you want to create a sandbox environment for it. And I figured out, I tried a lot of things. I tried like a Docker setup and stuffs like that, but then if you do that, then you have you are basically reducing the resources on your system to get a this thing, and like it could get messed up, right? Like you are basically trying to do setup on your primary setup, on your primary workstation. So Mac OS has a really cool feature which I'm gonna show, and we will use that to do OpenClaw installation. So to showcase that, I'm taking you to disk utility. So if you generally open disk utility for the first time, you would see it something like this. Like you have your Mac hard disk. Mine is around 512 GB. It gives me about 494 out of that, and it will show you something like this, right? Like this is your hard disk and this is your data volume. So these are like a volume setup in this. But if you go here, change the view from show only volumes to show all devices, you would see your actual hard disk. This is your main hard disk within which like macOS is doing some stuff, and like basically partitioning the disk in volumes. So it has a really cool feature of creating volumes, right? Like add APFS volume. This is an option. If you do this, you will read this that APFS volume shares storage space with the container. So the container is like the main actual disk, which has, like in my case, 227 GB free. So we are not creating a partition, we are basically utilizing the free space, and whatever we are like we will occupy. Let's say our OS setup, if we are doing in this volume, is taking 20 GB and 20 GB more for our setup, which is total 40 GB. So this particular APFS will occupy only 40 GB out of this, and that is in a shared manner, wherein like your OS can take whatever remaining is there, it will be able to take it. It's not like a partition as such, it's a shared volume concept, which is really cool. You don't have to worry about this. Like once you are done with testing your OpenClaw setup in this, you can just delete this volume and get done with it, and you're back to your original setup which you have at present. So let's say if I call it OpenClaw HD, and then I create it. I don't have to, like, you don't have to go into these, leave it all blank, and then it will create a shared volume for it. So it is adding this, and you have to remember to select container disk. You are not creating it inside Macintosh HD volume, you are creating at a disk level, you're doing it here. So remember to select this, and now you have two volumes. One is this Macintosh HD, which is where we are currently, and then we will do a macOS installation within this, and I am gonna show you how do you get the macOS and do an installation on this. So that's the next part. Okay, so I will show you the command line way to do that. You have to basically look for your terminal. I am gonna use iTerm, like I have previously run the setup from here, so it's easier for me to do it here again, just to showcase how it is done. So if I just look for my previous this thing, I'm gonna add this in the description. Like you do a full fetch installer, and it will basically get the 26.2, which is your the latest which I am on is the same. this is my 32 gig MacBook Pro, which is the Huawei, which is 26.2 macOS version. So we are gonna do like a fetch for this. So what this does is this will basically look for the official macOS version and place it into your application folder. So in my case I had already done this, so it like finished within a second, but it is quite a big one. Like I think let's check how big the size is, so that you know the exact yeah, this is the one. If I just say get info, it's 17.44 GB. Yeah, so yeah, so yeah, that's 17.44 GB. So that's gonna take some time, and then it'll open up like this, right? Like it happened for me. So if I say continue, I just have to go through this and like say agree, and I agree to this. Here this is the critical part. You don't have to select this. If you do this, your current setup will get wiped off. So remember to pause here and click show all disk. Now it will show you the new volume as well that you had created, right? And it is showing you how much free space that is there. It doesn't basically in total, if you see, right, like since it is a shared volume, it is telling, right, like it has the same amount of space as this one, but it is actually shared, and this out of that this much is available. So if you need more space here, if you free up here, it will get available here. So this can expand if you reduce stuff here, and same goes the other way. If you delete here, this can expand. So in our case, like we are gonna choose OpenClaw HD, give it here, select the owner, which is this guy, which is me, and I'm gonna say install, and then we unlock this, and this is gonna do, it takes about half an hour. It's showing 59 minutes. It takes half an hour, and then it will be installed. After this is done, the critical thing is now you will have dual boot setup, wherein like you can boot from either of these volumes. So by default, after this installation is done, OpenClaw HD will be the default. Every time you boot up, it will not ask you which volume to select, and it will directly take you into this OpenClaw HD volume setup. So for you to change that, you will have the option to basically select the startup disk. You go to general, like you go open your settings, go to general, and here you have the startup disk, right? Currently it is showing me only one, but once you have two setups, like the setup of that done, it will also show up here, because Mac can start from that volume as well. So it will start showing here, and you can choose which one is the default one. It will ask you to unlock that volume and then do that. And the primary thing I forgot to tell you is how this is safer, right? Like if you see file vault, right? Yeah, so by default file vault is there, which is basically encryption of your volume. So all the content within your volume is by default encrypted. At least like in my case, this was enabled. I had not specifically done this, so I'm assuming this is the default. So each volume, if it is file vault is enabled on that, the content is encrypted. So in my OpenClaw setup, the OpenClaw, even if I'm allowing it permission, it can only see within that volume. It cannot see outside that. So that's a key thing here. That is how we are getting like a sandboxing done through this volume concept. So yeah, so once this is done, you can configure it through startup disk and choose which one you have to do. And even if you choose one as a primary and you have to switch to the other one, what you do is you have to shut down your system. You go here and you choose shutdown instead of restart. You choose shutdown. You shut down your system, and it will basically have the you have the power on button, right? So you have to keep holding that for about 15 to 20 seconds, and it will start showing you on the screen that loading startup options, and keep holding for seeing the startup options. So once it shows you that, you can release the key, and then it will show you the volumes, as well as one more option, which is the recovery one. Don't choose that, just choose between the two volumes that you have that you saw here, right? So between these two, you just choose one. Don't choose a third one, that will take you to the recovery. We are not interested in that, so you just choose among these two, whichever you want to boot into, you choose that. So yeah, so this is done. Once this is done, I will be rebooted, and I will show you into the actual this volume once this is done. Okay, so the setup is done, and now I'm booted into my OpenClaw setup. And as soon as I boot in, I would get something like this, like, do I want to unlock this particular volume, which is Macintosh HD, which is my primary setup. So as I told, you are trying to basically sandbox OpenClaw setup from your primary setup. So do not enter password here, right? Like this is something you are basically making sure that that volume remains encrypted. If you do that, it will basically get unencrypted, and OpenClaw will be able to access that volume as well if it wants to do that. So remember to not put your password here, just cancel this and you're good to go. So yeah, like, and once the setup once you're doing the setup here, right, like try make sure that you're enabling file vault on this particular volume as well, so then both of these volumes remain isolated from each other, and you're not able to like mix between these two. So that is what I would recommend. So yeah, here then now you can go to Safari, and the simplest way would be like OpenClaw, and okay, my internet is not connected. Okay, I have my internet sorted now. Yeah, OpenClaw, you just open this, scroll down a little. This is a one-liner. You can choose this, because what this will do is, since this is a fresh install, this will do all the things that are needed for you to get started. All those will be installed. Just look for terminal. You don't have to do anything, like you just do this, but you will have to do it as sudo, because it has to install the primary things as well, which is your brew and things like that. So you need to do it using sudo, and see, like, it has not found homebrew, so it is installing that, and it would use that to basically install the dependencies that OpenClaw uses. So that's pretty much it. Your installation would be done, and you can launch your OpenClaw and like configure it whichever way you want. You can install multiple agents, spin up multiple agents, stuff like that, and you're good to go. And if I show you one more thing, which is here, yeah, in the locations, if you see, right, this is my OpenClaw HD, this is my user OpenClaw. I'm able to access, right, like this is my previous recording, so I'm able to access all this. But if I go here, I can see this. This is surprising. So I am not sure how the encryption is done. I thought it is done at a volume level, but I think it is a file vault. I think they're doing it at file level or something like that. Not sure about that, but yeah, so you can see the folders. If you go inside users, you will not see whatever users are there inside this particular volume setup. You will not be able to see. Same is the case here. You can see, yeah, you cannot really see the files directly. I think all the files would be encrypted, and then only the folder structure is visible. So yeah, so that's a cleaner way, as per me, to run your OpenClaw without buying a new VPS or a new Mac Mini. And once you have basically like understood, played around with that, you can delete this particular volume just by going to disk utility again. Do it from the Mac HD setup, right? Like you go here, you delete this particular volume once you are logged in to this particular Mac Kintosh HD setup. From there you just delete this one and you're good to go. Like you can move into your new machine, you can move into your VPS or whatever. But for trying, right, like why do you have to like try all that? The simplest way is like use your own MacBook machine, do this volume based setup and then try it out, see how it is going, and you would be surprised like how much tokens it is consuming, what is the idle LLM or the model that you should be using with that. You can play around on your own machine first and then see like if you need a bigger machine or a VPS setup and things like that. And this is according to me the best way to try OpenClaw. You don't even need like a virtual machine and things like that. This is like even better than a virtual machine setup. So I would definitely recommend this for trying out OpenClaw. Do this and let me know how it goes for you. Yeah, so where is our installation? Installation is doing its stuff. We are not covering installation. I think there are plenty of tutorials out there for this. So you do this and then it will start the onboarding flow. You have to choose options whatever you feel is right for you, and like you can do the setup. For setup, I think you can see other tutorials, but this is primarily for giving you an environment where it is much safer to set up your OpenClaw. So that is all I had to share. I hope this was useful, and do let me know if you went this way. Okay, one last side note before I wind down about the about the sandboxing and safety. So if you see this, right, if you are here and you are running the setup within OpenClaw and the model does something wrong, right, like it goes rogue and then it tries to access this and it is not able to access this. It thinks that this is like a void area which needs to be used, and it can wipe this out. It is like a worst case scenario which we are considering. It could delete the data that is inside this. So hopefully like you have most of your data on a Google Drive or on your GitHub or something like that. So if that is the case, like this is still a safer like a setup to try, and it can still not access the data, but it can wipe out the volume. That's the only catch that is there with this setup. But if you are using a smarter model like Opus or something like that, the probability of that happening goes very low. So yeah, just wanted to point that out before I wind up this video. Yeah. Okay, thank you for watching.